Oh wait, forgot. Oh, there you go. What is up, everybody? CG Ruthless is back in the building, and we got Melissa Rebel in the building, and we got 49er King, the king of the Golden State, in the building. What is up, everybody?
Yeah, man.
What's up?
Playboy Bay Area Sports, SF Niner Nation. I see you. What up?
What up, everybody? What up with everybody in the comments? 4 people in the building. It'll probably add up pretty soon. But hey, I know a lot of you guys are excited about this news, right? Like, let's get on your mind, Melissa. What's on your mind, Melissa?
It's finally Pads week, so I'm hoping people will stop shitting on our offensive line because now they'll actually be able to get in there and grind back with the defense.
Oh, yeah. Like, the pads are on, and that's outstanding. But hey, 49er King, what you got to say, brother?
Man, that one wide receiver guy, he finally signed his deal, man. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Debo, right?
Oh, Debo. Oh.
Oh my god, that is still one of the most cringiest clips ever. Kurt Warner, Michael Irvin, and Mooch trying to do that all at the same together.
I think the one when Michael Irving does it is more catchy. I probably need to use that phrase as my like every time we mention his name, I'll use Irving's voice.
Debo. Yeah, I'm fired up though, man. I went to training camp on Saturday, man. Saw them playing out there, you know. Saw quarterbacks making throws, receivers making catches. DBs though, they've been on point, man. Defense in general, man, it's looking great. What's up, Playboy Loco? What's up?
Playboy Locals everywhere I go, man. Just like that song.
Cardcast?
Cardcast, he's been around, man. He's been around. He's been around a lot. That's great, man. Great kid.
So what were your impressions on Saturday when you went?
When I found out. Oh wait, you're gonna go on him. Okay, you go first.
Just like the defense, man. Just like the edge rusher that is getting off, linebackers swarming. Mm-hmm. You know, Tre'Davious Ward been locking it down. Emmanuel Mosley been locking it down. You know, like I really like what I see, man, from the defense. And the defense is usually always ahead of the offense anyway. But I mean, it hasn't been like this, man. We look so fast on every unit, and it's just time to just be a top 5 defense in the league, and that's what I think will happen, you know. And I saw Nate Sudfeld, he threw it like a deep pass to Ayuk, and like Ayuk kind of misplayed it. He's not used to Sudfeld because he's not going to be used to him because, you know, Lance is going to be the guy. So, you know, but yeah, so it's looking good out there, man. Just seeing everybody in those beautiful uniforms, man, red and gold. We got the best colors of all time. And yeah, man, I enjoyed myself though, man, just being out there.
Oh yeah, you know, the pads are on, everything's going crazy. I go where CG goes. Yep, that's the motto, man. You do go where I go. That's like everywhere the city go. I don't know, just like a little reference. But what stands out during training camp with the pads, right, is offensive line hasn't looked too bad today. So I got to give credit where it's due. Hey, Spencer Burford kind of did pretty well from what I was looking at. He did pretty solid at right guard today. So everybody was criticizing how he wasn't doing well with no pads on, but when he gets those pads on, he nasty. That dude nasty. Number 74, you better get used to that guy. Number 74 is going to make opposing defensive linemen like Aaron Donald, you better watch out. Spencer Burford is going to put you on the specialty on pancakes at IHOP, man. You better watch out for that.
Yeah, Aaron Donald, you over here talking trash, talking about, I don't like the 49ers. Well, we don't like you, man. We beat you 6 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? Except for the last game, but, we beat ourselves. But it's all good, man. Aaron Donald, man, can't stand that dude. Can't wait till our offensive lineman, rams him. Like Buford, Trent Williams, somebody, man. We need to put him on his backside, man. That's our biggest rival op right there.
I mean, I take nothing personal of what Aaron Donald said. It's like, dude, if you're getting owned for so many damn years with a team you've been playing for, bro, I would hate him. Personally, I would. Because in some ways, bro, the Rams have never owned the Niners in that time span he was there, bro. He's been embarrassed in his entire career until he finally won one. But in reality, bro, if a team owns you, of course you're gonna have a hate. Just like Frank Gore personally hates the Seahawks. You see teams like Navarro Bowman, he still has hate for Seattle Seahawks in general because of how they were acting towards them.
Yeah, but see, Bowman's a special case because what happened to him was not only like a ref issue, that he had the ball for over 2 minutes under that big dog pile that they took their time to clear out, but then the fans threw trash at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's special kind of why I will never, ever root for the Seahawks. Like I have other teams I don't like, but there's never going to be an instance that you could ever have me root for the Seahawks. Ever.
But on the bright side, who is their quarterback? I don't know. Like, is number 3 still in the building, or has he been gone?
You remember a couple of years ago they told us to root for the Seahawks like at the end of the year because it was going to help our standings in the draft and whatever. I think it was 2020. I was like, I can't do it. I'm always going to root against the Seahawks. Like, that just never made sense to me.
I'll root for them if it helps us, but I really hate the Seahawks too. They're top 5 most disliked team ever, man. They costed us some Super Bowls, man. Oh man, that tip. It is Sherman, his mouth, and then he became a Niner. So it's like, damn, now I got to sort of root for Sherman now. So yeah, they are like one of the hated teams, man. Just the fans are terrible too. And then last year it's like it made me hate them more because like they were at their worst and we still couldn't beat them. Oh my gosh, terrible.
I mean, we have no excuses this year, especially with Seattle at a quarterback change. Like, I mean, they're Russell Wilson left to Denver.
You've been saying that for 2 years though.
It's kind of like there's no excuse. There's no excuses now. There's no Russell Wilson. So
this is year 3 that we've been saying that about the Seahawks.
I mean, this is where excuses are not going to be acceptable at this point. Like, if we cannot beat them with their quarterback, what they got right now, we don't deserve to go in the playoffs at all. Because we should be able to. I'm saying we got to sweep Seattle this year because there's no franchise quarterback. There's nothing. Like, does Geno scare us? No. Does Drew Luck scare us? No. Russell Wilson does, of course. But he's not with them, so this is a no excuse. And Chris Carson just retired. The running back retired from injuries now.
Chris Carson was like maybe available 3 games at most over the last like 4 years.
But the thing with them is who they got at quarterback. There's nobody that scares me except maybe Tyler Lockett, and you got Metcalf when he's at his best. But who else? On defense, it's mostly all rebuild.
Yeah, but are they really scary? Because they're more like catch and make something more out of the play, but they're like 40, 50 yards down the field catches. They're not like really yak players. And if there's nobody to throw the ball to them, are they really going to be as of a threat as they have been in the past?
Yeah, I mean, Lockett is a damn good receiver. Metcalf is, Drew Lock. We should be a Drew Lock from Sweden this year, honestly, that's how terrible he is. Like, come on, Niners. Like, no matter who's our quarterback, their quarterback is that guy, so we got to win, man. They don't really have no talent except the 2 receivers, and we got corners now that can lock those receivers up. Tre'Davious Ward, he gonna lock up either Lockett or Metcalf, man, because that boy's a baller. Emmanuel Mosley's getting better. Jason Verrett, he's more than capable. Ambry he's emerging. He's not going to be a starter, but like I said, so their strengths is our strength. You know, their receivers are strength, our corners are strength. So
Please say that again. Please say that like 3 more times. Like that's not been the case for a very long time.
What
that our corners are an actual strength for this team.
Oh yeah, our corners are a strength. We got 2 or possibly 3 lockdown guys. Jason Verrett's a top 7 corner when healthy. Emmanuel Mosley, I've been seeing a lot of good stuff about him. And Ward, he's done a hell of a job of just past couple seasons and in the training camp and all of that. You know, Fred Warner's raved about him. Juwan Jennings raving about him. It's on and popping. I'm ready, man. Like we actually have a cornerback trio that's like pretty damn great, or close to it. You know.
I mean, in previous years, we've always had that question mark with our secondaries. Like everybody would say, our pass rush is made up for that little suspect secondary. Like in 2019, when you looked at our secondaries, people were like, I think we were ranked number 1, like by statistics. But when you take away the pass rush, our secondaries didn't do much after that. So it's like, does this make up for the production now that we got good cornerbacks now that to where our pass rushers can have a little time to get to the quarterback right away or something? Or it's just like, I mean, it's kind of challenging.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, you know, our D-line, like Bosa, Drake Jackson, you know, Armstead, Kinlaw, like if those guys can get after the quarterback, the corners, as great as they are, they won't even have to cover for 7-8 seconds, maybe 2, possibly 3. A lot of picks should be coming. You know, we can get pressure without blitzing. That's going to be crucial. Fred Warner, come on now, man. He's basically the quarterback of the defense. He's right in the middle of the D-line and the secondary. So, like I said, we're great in a lot of areas, man.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's one certain content creator who does disagree on certain spots, but he might be spot on. He thinks our defensive line is probably like one of the least strength in his opinion. Larry Krueger kind of said it pretty best, but I think he was saying that our secondary could maybe make up for it. Like, I don't know, like, do you guys agree on his take on what he was saying about it?
I think the injuries at defensive tackle right now is something to worry about, especially because once injury bug usually hits us, it hits us hard. And it just spreads on one side of the ball. So that's a worry. But at the same time, like, you have guys like Kerry Hyder who came back. You have Kevin Givens on a 1-year deal, who has been a like low key, like really good player for you. You have all these guys that are hungry and on 1-year deals on the defense. That I think makes them scarier than makes you more worried.
Yeah,
especially at linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with the D line part. Like Will Smith slap him. Shoop. For saying that. That's our freaking strength right there. You know? Like, man, like I love our D-line depth. You know, we got Ibukam and Kerry Hyder and Iminahu as our 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Like edge rushers, backups. Like those guys can be starters. They have starter talent, you know. So yeah, man, like so I disagree with that, you know. And then Kinlaw, he's a big question mark, but I believe in him if he can stay healthy, man. I've been hearing good things about him too. Because he has strength, athleticism, and everything.
Yeah, we just signed Akeem Spence, which I already reported like not that long ago. But yeah, we did sign some defensive line depth, even after the injury for Maurice Hurst Jr., which I thought was kind of a serious blow because he would have been a nice rotation to our defensive line. But unfortunately, lucky for us, we did sign Robert Nietzsche, and then we just brought in a guy like Akeem Spence, who's kind of been around the league, like around different teams, but I've seen mostly him as a solid run stopper, nothing special, but like he's all right.
I don't know. I'm probably like the only Niner fan out there that will willingly say I'm relieved that Maurice Hurst is most likely not going to be on the 53. And let me clarify why me saying that. I am not wishing an injury on any player. I have never wanted an injury on any player. I'm not happy he's injured. I'm just relieved because at the end of the day, we've had the Jason Verrett's, the Jerick McKinnons, the guys that are always injured and haven't produced, and Jalen Hurts. And I am so sick of these guys taking up a 53 spot when we are beyond injury cursed and we're going for Josh Normans of the world because we can't fill the roster because these other guys are taking up those spots. So that is why I'm not wishing for injury, but at the end of the day, I'm just thank God that this is not going to happen again this year.
Well, we did sign a low risk with Robert Dici, and then we picked up Hakeem Spence. But you know what's even crazy? We're not even going aggressive. We're not even going for like since that Debo money's coming into play. Since we don't have short cap space. Since Jimmy goes away, is there maybe a chance? Is there maybe a chance we go for Adamik Sue?
I knew you were going there.
I wanted to go there. I want to stir it up a little bit. Stir it up. Let's go with that question. Let's see. Like, Melissa, do you think this is a possibility, or you think this is a long shot?
I think Sue's gonna wait until like the end of camp so he doesn't have to practice, and I think he's gonna go plug in with a team like the Packers or the Giants or some other team that doesn't have a lot of depth, and that way he can avoid camps because I think he wants to avoid getting injured before he gets to play for the year.
Well, this can be intriguing. Like, if these injuries that our defensive tackle keeps stacking up, then we might have no other choice but to get Sue. But a guy that's veteran, but he comes off. He doesn't have to go to camp. He's a veteran, and he can come into the regular season being the guy in the rotation or starter. But I don't know. Like, it's never say never, But what do you think, Antonio?
Yeah, sign him up, man. We just gave Debo a pretty good deal. Sign this guy because, hey, Sue, he helped Aaron Donald have that 20-plus sack season by engaging on blockers. He helped Shaq Barrett have a big, I think we got damn near 18 to 20 sack season as well. He can help Nick Bosa do something similar, or just engage on blockers. He could be our Justin Smith, what Justin Smith did for Alden Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he also helped out Vita Vea become a better nose tackle and moving away from nose tackle so Vita Vea can prosper and what's better for Vita Vea. So,
but do you think he would definitely help Kinlaw, right?
I think the Sue that was curb stomping Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of other people, that Sue's still deep down in there, and I understand people's like worry about him. But at the same time, I think he's like near the end of his career, and you can see kind of what he did on Tampa's defense, the way he held them together when they were injury prone in their secondary and everything else. And he was kind of like this big light, bringing like energy and positivity to them and to keep them hungry. So that wouldn't be like the worst signing ever.
I mean, if these injuries keep on stacking up, then there's got to be no other option but maybe, hey, Sue, hey, we're contending for a Super Bowl. We need to get you to this roster. Hey, you got a guy like Javon Kinlaw you could definitely put under your wing. And then I'm pretty sure he'd be intrigued by Kinlaw. I'm pretty sure he can help him along the way to make this guy good too. But, I mean, it's just maybe I'm overthinking, but our defensive liner is getting some injuries right now, so that could be a question mark right there. Oh, yeah, see, this is why I feel like this is a good stir-up mix-up. See, Sue would definitely help stop teams from double-teaming Bosa. That's for facts.
Remember I just say, engage those blockers, man. I'm telling you, he can do it. He helped Aaron Donald, a guy on the inside, and then Shaq Barrett on the outside. See what I'm saying? So he can do that, and he can help Armstead play with more leverage because Armstead plays a little high sometimes. So, he can just work on these guys, man. He's going to see all these D-line talent and be like, wow, I can really help out and get playing time and get back to a Super Bowl. Because the last two teams he was on, he got to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? He won one, but he got to another one. So
I'm pretty sure he's looking for that right team to go to because he doesn't have to worry about going to the training camp. He's just training and waiting for that opportunity to come again. I think for Sue, just coming at that.
He's going to put Ola Sherman, honestly. I think he's going to wait a really long time until a team's desperate enough. Then that way he gets a little bit more than what he might make right now.
Yeah. But, hey, speaking of Moses, man, I was hoping for Moses to put us in our place when he said something about the cornerbacks. Man, I was waiting for him. I thought he was going to show up. Man, OG, where you go, bro? I'm waiting for you. I know you've been on the Quetrez all night train, bro. Come on. I get it.
Oh, the nickel thing. Yeah, I remember that on Twitter.
He's on my case about it. But, hey, let's speak of somebody. Let's speak of somebody that's Moses' favorite player. I got a good one who stood out. Lenore! He stood out today, actually.
Oh yeah, and you brought him up last week, Lenore. And
he wasn't fond of it yet.
Yeah, I remember he wasn't fond of it. And then you were like Lenore. Hey, the one reason I will say Lenore can do good You know, like the Niners, this regime, they have a history of those 5th-round picks doing pretty good. George Kittle, Drake Greenlaw. You know, DJ Jones was 6th round, but he's still good.
And Hufanga.
Yeah, Hufanga. I've been hearing good things about him.
Now we got Womack.
Yeah, Womack, my boy Womack. Yeah, so they know how to pick guys 5th round and after.
Womack double.
Juwan Jennings, 7th round.
7th round.
DJ Jones, 6th round.
Elijah Mitchell, 6th round. I'm telling you.
Yeah, how does he become our leading rusher and we get this kid in the 6th round?
Crazy, man. Like our scouts, they know what they're doing after the 4th round. I know that.
Well, Roberto, I didn't even know if they were going to come, dude. Sometimes last second, I didn't even know they were going to even come, dude. Sometimes it happens.
Wait, boy.
Can I just say something real quick on the DBs, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so everyone's ripping Juwan Jennings, the Danny Grays, all the receivers for not getting separation from Emmanuel Moseley and Tre'Davious Ward. But at the end of the day, if we're being honest with each other, I don't ever want to go into a season again where we're having D'Amico being blasted. I don't want our defense to be blasted and being blamed for why we're struggling games. I don't want to have to hear about how we want the Solid to come back and play that soft zone defense. Like, this is a good defense. If our receivers and our offense wasn't getting picked off or like getting burnt on stuff and not getting separation, like that would be a much bigger issue if our defense wasn't having any good downs. Like, so people have to like chill and stop hating on our receivers and our running backs and our quarterbacks just because the defense is doing what they're supposed to be doing, stopping them.
Well, to be fair, just to be fair on that argument, the way you said it, yeah, I think our secondaries is really good. Like, Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray, and all the other receivers, they're just not having much of a good matchup with these cornerbacks. I'll tell you what, the people who said something about our secondary not being legit, I think they were pissed off. That secondary is hungry. I think they're pissed off at the fact they had the least amount of interceptions last year. I think they're hungry.
Yeah, we only had like 10 last year.
Yeah, around there.
In like 15 practices this year, we got 11 interceptions in 4 practices. So yeah,
it's pretty normal. I mean, it's pretty different from them. But when you think about it, like, okay, when I was in the NFC West podcast, like the West Network, I like this one Seattle fan. I'll say squabble, but we were having this little segment talk, and then I kind of was surprised of how he put the loss column to one of the teams. I had told him, dude, there's no way in hell we're going to lose to the freaking Raiders. No. And he kept making an argument reason why is because our secondary. And I'm like, dude, have you seen how Tre'Davious Ward play? Have you seen how Moseley plays? Come on, dude.
Have you seen how Carr plays? Carr either goes to Jacobs, Renfro, or Darren Waller, whoever is healthiest at that moment, and he goes beyond overkill, like Aaron Rodgers said, that one dude that's hot, and that's his safety net. Like, the Raiders game is going to be fun, but it's not going to be like this. Oh, we're not going to be able to handle Max Crosby and Darren Waller and Devontae Adams. Like, if our DBs weren't so bad last year at the beginning of the year, do you really think Devontae Adams gets that last-minute touchdown or whatever it was to win the game week 3? Like, no. We shut them down in Lambeau in the snow. Like,
yeah, he didn't
knew that Allen Lazard and MVS and the rest of them weren't going to be, like, Aaron Rodgers' go-to because that's who Devontae Adams was. Like, if you took out the one big threat, the other guys, if they were open, it didn't matter. So it's like, at the end of the day, I can understand the argument for why any particular game is going to be win or a loss, but like some of these things are just completely crazy.
Yeah, and then you underestimate the secondary, and then what kind of really catches me a little intrigued by what Squabble said, he wasn't sure about Tre'Davious Ward. I'm like, dude, have you seen how this guy plays? Like, he shuts down good receivers, and to make a fair argument, he did shut down Devontae Adams last year, but then some people are going to say, but Aaron Rodgers didn't play. Doesn't matter. Doesn't Adams make anybody look good? Either way?
Yeah,
it don't matter.
All I ever hear. He makes everybody look good.
Okay, but then at the same thing, you have to admit that Tyreek Hill played him all the time in practice. Tyreek Hill is, according to a lot of people, top 3 receiver. So doesn't that rub off on you and you get to pick up stuff from one of the top guys?
Yes, I'm saying like I've been saying like he's been guarding him in practice, so he's seen his speed. He should be able to deal with anybody's speed. Like Tyler Lockett now. Tyler Lockett's, I'm not saying he's as fast as Tyreek Hill, but he's pretty damn fast. So
No, but DK is close as fast as Tyreek because he runs a 4.32 or a 4.31 or something like that. But he's like a 6'3" specimen.
yeah,
But when you look at our matchups during this season, I feel like our secondaries could match up well against any of these receivers in our division. But I think
you know what I want to see the most? I want to see Max Crosby not have a single QB hit or a single sack, especially because I was legitimately pissed off. Like, I threw shit all over my room when he made All-Pro over Nick Bosa. That pissed me the frig off.
yeah, I don't like Max Crosby. I mean, Bosa should have won it, man. He had a little better numbers. Run style.
That's the problem. I mean, I don't got nothing against Crosby. I don't got nothing against the guy. I mean, he's a phenomenal player, but he's just not better than Bosa.
But now that everyone's like saying the AFC West is like the most tough division, and how they're gonna have 3 to 4 teams in the playoffs, and they're crowing about these people. It's like to build up Kittle. To build up Waller, they're taking down Kittle. To build up Crosby, they're knocking down Nick Bosa. It's like you can't build up a Raider player without knocking at the Niners. And it's like they're not even in the same area anymore. They're no longer Bay Area teams. Like one's in Vegas, one's in California. It's like it's beyond aggravating as a Niner fan to have all your players used constantly in the national media to build up other teams and to take pot shots at our players because they miss a game here or there, or they're not getting the crazy stats like a Dak Prescott, who are just like stat kings, but nothing else really to the substance. So that's my big grievance, and that is why that particular game I really want just like complete annihilation.
Let's start the new year. Okay.
You know what I want to see this season? I want to see our offensive lineman put Aaron Donald in his misery, put him in his place, like put him to where he cannot even get near the quarterback, and maybe he might have cracked a rib or two, and then he just realized like, oh shit, this Niners team is tough. He might retire.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was either week 10 this year or week 6 last year, where Aaron Donald only had like one QB hit or pressure or something. And then
I want to keep it that way. I want to keep those dominants. Yeah, I want to make sure our offensive lineman puts him in check and shuts his mouth. But I want to see Spencer Burford, one of our offensive linemen, just demolish him to where he gets embarrassed and he can't come back or he can't recover from that game. Like if you thought Brunskill was worse, so you haven't seen what the rookie Burford can do, maybe.
Oh yeah, man. But yeah, we beat the Raiders.
Or Banks. Hey, Phillip Banks. His son is called Aaron Banks.
Aaron Banks, let's go, man. Yeah, like that's on New Year's Day, and we got to start the New Year's off by whipping the Raiders. I'm tired of saying Waller's better than Kittle.
Vegas, beat the Vegas, but yeah.
Let's sack Derek Carr, man. Make him be a broke down Carr after Bosa.
Make him look like David Carr out there.
Yeah, exactly. Make him look like his brother. And then after we sign Ndamukong Suh, he's gonna stomp on his lip. No, I'm just kidding. He's gonna stomp on him. Yeah, man. Like our defense is gonna be a force to be reckoned with, man. We're gonna be scaring a lot of offenses, including theirs.
I mean, you look at Seattle. They only have our number, but do they really scare us? No, they don't have Chris Carson no more. Rashad Penny, he's kind of been a little bit of like inconsistent at times. Like he's kind of been a major disappointment for a first round draft pick, but they have high hopes on this guy. They just drafted Kenneth Walker. Is this guy going to even step in for them? And then you look at the rest of the receiving corps. Like, okay, after you got Lockett and Metcalf, the rest of it's kind of questionable. You look at their tight end.
Is it just me, or does it feel like the Seattle Seahawks want Pete Carroll to go down in flames so that way they can move on with a new coach and a new quarterback high in the draft next year?
You think that's what they're doing, is tanking this season to where Carroll gets fired or quits?
I don't think they're legitimately tanking like the tanking for Tua thing in Miami, where Brian Flores got in trouble for not like throwing games, or Dougie P got in trouble for not for putting up a fight about putting in Nate Sudfeld at the end of that game to throw the Philly game. But I do think with teams like the Giants and other teams that don't have multiple first round picks, but are desperate to finally close the chapter of cycling through veterans and really bad players. I think that particular thing, and that Pete Carroll has alienated Russell Wilson and the entire Legion of Boom. I think that their GM wants to like kind of let him be like that last nail to move on in Seattle's history.
And the way they do business, it's like, man, so we got to watch out who we cut because eventually they're going to pick up that player and he might do well against us. So it's like, damn. Like, okay, I got a feeling if we cut Hasty. What happened this week?
Mohamed Sanu signed with Miami, and Quan Alexander has now joined DJ Reed and Ronnie Blair, and they're both now at MetLife with Quan Alexander.
Oh, they're with Robert Saleh because those are familiar faces. Those are familiar faces. Yep.
DJ, Ronnie, and Quan are all together now with Tevin and
System Fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's intriguing for them because despite all that, Alexander is like a coverage linebacker, very athletic, but never stayed healthy. And if he was healthy, he would have been very good for us. But
didn't he stay healthy enough to meet the quota for the Saints to give us a fifth instead of a sixth?
Yeah, he was. He was. I mean, my bad. What were you going to say?
Rams fan.
What's with these damn trolls, bro? Nothing but these guys who come off the woodworks, man. That like I haven't seen a fan like this big since Seattle fans come out the blue, man. Like seriously, like
the 12th man.
Man, I guess the 12th man was replaced by the Rams.
Nothing is as bad as Don Burr last year. He like stalked every Niner show everywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rams Nation. I'm pretty sure he's on Cowboy streams and Raiders streams because I think those are mutual hates for teams we can't stand.
Yeah, they're all in the Mount Rushmore of hated teams. You know, Raiders, Cowboys. You know, Seahawks, Rams. But yeah, like the 12th man, the Rams, they only had like 12 people at their parade, so you know they're not really a real fan.
Do you see that they made that a story on every single network? How they sold out at Rams.
They paid Raider fans to be on parades. Who does that? Who pays for Raider fans in LA, bro? Come on. If a lot of people that are Raider fans that aren't from LA, they told me they were paid to dress up like Rams fans.
I'm not going to start a bunch of stuff, but you could tell when they panned to the Chargers camp, there was like jerseys of like big names, old names, like all the old school San Diego jerseys. And you could tell those were like legitimate fans excited to see Justin Herbert and Khalil Mack and all of them. And then you saw the Rams thing, and it's like all brand new jerseys and everything that's been since they redid their logo. It's like one looks more real than the other.
Yep. Well, which is more fake, Seattle's parade or the Rams actually paying for fans to attend the parade? Come on.
I don't think they paid for them, but I think it's bandwagoners, and it's because it's LA. They're gonna jump on it.
Nah, like you're paying. I've actually seen a couple of videos where they're actually convincing some Raider fans in LA to join them. There's facts. There's some real facts out there, and they did pay some Raider fans, and a fellow content creator did confirm me that there was some Raider fans paid to dress up like Rams fans that day because they got a little bit of money out of it. So you can't hate on the money. If you're paying Raider fans or Charger fans to join, then shit, I guess. And what is there to hate about? What is there to hate about Rams Nation? You guys have 2 damn rings from one different city. We've won all our Super Bowls in one simple city, San Francisco. You guys are pretty much like, what level, bro? We got 5. 2, you need 3 more to catch up, bro. So it doesn't matter. The rings never expire. They always stay the same. And you're talking about we never won nothing. We won 5 damn Lombardis, and we're getting close to that 6. So,
but they like put every single person in the greatest show on turf into the Hall of Fame because they all threw hissy fits, especially Kurt Warner. And you only won 1 Super Bowl. with the
Yeah,
greatest
you
show
cheated the
on
cap space. You manipulated by cheating, bro.
Like-
Come on, stop
like-
with this little cap space crap, man.
And
Man,
if
but
I
this
have to
guy's
hear
something.
one more time, like those Ram teams were more deserving than Roger Craig, who was the first person to get 1,000.
How about you get past the Raiders, Rams Nation? How about you get past the Raiders
Patrick Willis
rings? Then
doesn't
talk.
deserve to be in because he wasn't in the league long enough. Like, you guys are crazy to constantly have to troll on Niner fans just to make yourselves feel better about your team.
Yeah. Hey, Rams Nation, how about you guys get past the Raiders rings, then we'll talk. Until now, you're on your second ring, so you don't even have a third Lombardi. So I don't think. So why not you get past the Raiders rings, which you have room to talk to the Raiders, just you can't talk to us because we're above y'all. Doesn't matter. So you guys won a game that actually mattered, but you guys still have 2 Super Bowls. So if I remember correctly, 5 is better than 2.
But did they win that game, or did Jimmy Garoppolo give away that game?
I don't got no excuses. I just think that it was just flat out stupid the way Jimmy played. But do I got any excuses of what happened? The Rams were just well prepared, played better, and they were frustrated the fact that we owned them. So a lot of you guys, nope. It's still 5, bro. Oh, what era? Dude, 1999 is not the era, bro. 1999 is the 20th century, you dummy. Come on, dude. So, okay, I guess you can say 1 ring because you don't count the second one. Because the 1999 Rams, that is in the 20th century. Get your facts straight.
1999.
1999, that's the same as 94, bro. Come on, get your facts straight. And you saying we're done, bro? You just said 2 rings in this era. Didn't you just say second ring in this era? No, you're talking about 1 damn ring. Get your facts straight, bro. I just schooled you. 1999 is still in the 20th century. This guy is thinking he's all that. He's a troll.
They did have 2 Super Bowl appearances, but I mean, you went there to kick a field goal? That's all they did with Jared Goff in that game.
Nah, dude. Hey, dude, you seem like a Raider fan who was once a Raider fan or something like that because you guys don't show up for whatever reason. I think they might have paid you to ditch the Raiders. Who wants to support a team in Las Vegas that left California? Oh, yeah. Like them.
And like, how's your name? Rams Nation? What nation? You're on a nation of fans.
You're copying the Raiders.
You know? Oh, Raider fan, man. I've been destroying Raider fans forever.
Yeah. You know what, man? These guys are just something else, man. They don't have 5. They're never going to catch us.
It's really pathetic that your quarterback and his
15 years my ass.
Offensive players had to beg their wives to try to lock out Niner fans to come to your stadium because you couldn't be heard in your own home stadium week 18.
Like, dude. See, this is what's bragging.
That you had to have 2 wives with 2 players come out and try to lock down faithful from showing up in your stadium.
Hey, I thought it was Rams' house.
I don't know what else.
I thought this was Rams' house, not Rams Nation. Are you the Raiders? Are you a Raider fan? You can't. There's no such thing as nation. The only nation is the Raiders. So okay, so you've been a fan for 15 years. So you never witnessed the first Super Bowl because that was in 1999. 1999, you probably weren't even born, so you can't say there's 2 rings. No. If you're gonna include your 2 rings, you have to include the 5 rings. So you either know your shit or you get your facts straight. So that 2 ring that you were talking about, I'll give it where it's due. You had your 1 ring. The other year didn't matter. Didn't matter. Nope, doesn't matter, bro. $5, whatever. An old $5 is better than a freaking $2 bill. Come on, use your brain. But man, hey, you know what? Since you're kind of being childish and you don't know your shit, I'm gonna put you a little quiet. You've been kind of you don't know your shit. You're in your place.
No.
All right, let's get back. I mean, at least with Rudy, he has credibility. At least Rudy knows his shit. At least he ain't gonna fucking act delusional like this clown.
Yeah.
Bro, 15 years my ass. He probably was a fucking Raiders fan or a Patriots fan, if I'm kind of mistaken. Come on. Okay, but let's go on.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, so I can't wait till we beat the Rams. We're gonna beat them twice again, because we got even deeper team. You know what I'm saying? Stafford's gonna throw more interceptions, and our Chiefs will not drop it this time. He's not even a great quarterback to me. He's like second tier, third tier, and we got corners to lock down Cup. So I'm ready for that. And our offensive linemen, they've shown, like even Brunskill, he owns Aaron Donald. Like Brunskill doesn't usually do that much against anybody else, but against that guy, he freaking dominates. So we're not worried about the Rams. We match up too well.
What's up, Betty? What's up, everybody? See, at least Seahawks Eddie is not is.
Can I ask you guys a question? Who do you think is going to be the breakout on it's Sunday night again? The Rams game, the first one. So we've had Brunskill show up big against the Rams. We've had George Kittle have that Deion Sanders touchdown in 2020. You've had Debo have big games. We've had Drake Greenlaw have big games. So who do you think on offense and defense are going to be like the big breakout stars against the Rams?
Ooh,
I got my guys.
Can this sound like repeated as history? Can I go back and repeat?
I mean, you can repeat history. You can say someone new. I'm curious. Who do you think are going to be like those big
Juwan Jennings? There you go.
Guys.
Yeah, Mr. I scored the go-ahead touchdown that last game of the regular season.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy to Jennings. But yeah, I would say Brandon Ayuk, and I would say Drake Jackson. Drake Jackson's gonna scare Stafford into a couple picks.
I thought we were picking one player.
Oh, offense and defense. You said offense.
Oh, okay.
I said both. Yeah.
Okay, so for defense, I'll go with Epicom because he wants payback for not being re-signed from the Rams.
Good pick.
I think it's gonna be Talanoa, and I think it's gonna be on offense. I think it's either gonna be Juwan Jennings or it's gonna be TDP.
Man, so do I have to use the reference of TDP? Yo, it's me. It's TDP.
Are you down with TDP? Yeah, you know me.
But how about the Trey, man? I want to see the Trey.
I think the way everything's kind of shaking out right now, I think Elijah is like a penciled in RB1 right now. I think TDP is getting a lot of hype from fans and from the team, and he was just drafted. At best, I think Trey's RB3. And it's not to say that he can't have a good year. I hope for the best. Personally, if I had my choice, I would have it be Elijah, TDP, Trey Sermon, and Mason as my 4 running backs. Like, I used to really like Hasty, but the dropping of the footballs and everything is just. I want him and Jeff Wilson to be like the odd man out.
I mean, man, I'm just not. I mean, I'm not really digging the TDP yet, man. I gotta see this guy. You know what? The only way I'll give TDP his credit, man, if he gets into the Super Bowl and gets the game-winning running touchdown, and this place seals, and he becomes our Marshawn Lynch and wins the game, or becomes that one game-changer play, then I'll give TDP the benefit of the doubt. I'll even hype this guy.
So what happens if he's like Juwan Jennings and he has 2 big clutch moments in overtime that help you win those games? Like Juwan Jennings had in the Rams game and the Cincinnati game, which were both crucial wins.
No, I mean, I was high on Juwan Jennings way before that.
I know you probably were, and I was, and a bunch of fans were, but there were a lot of people who constantly had to critique him like he wasn't hurt and he would never be hurt and he would never be able to do what Shanahan first fell in love with doing with hurt. Like, they kept giving him crap because he got injured and then he got cut off the practice squad. And then he was stuck on the practice squad that whole first year. So for me, that was kind of like refreshing at that point that Juwan had the big touchdown in Philly and he had some other random moments at the beginning of the year. But when Sanu was kind of injured, he got to step up and he never kind of lost that job. So.
Well, Juwan Jennings to me was actually exactly what Jalen Hurts was supposed to be. That's what we wanted Jalen Hurts to be. And guess what? Juwan Jennings, he was the same guy that took the starting receiving job at Tennessee And then Jalen Hurd transferred to Baylor. It's the same guy that we ended up drafting eventually. The next year we draft that guy that just replaces him. Anywhere Jennings goes, Jalen Hurd is gone.
If you have not watched Juwan Jennings' reaction to being drafted in the 7th round and that
happy.
call to Kyle Shanahan, I urge you to go right away on YouTube and look that up, because that is like one of the most like endearing, and you can see that fight ever since that phone call that he's been bringing to this team. And I really think Juwan Jennings is going to have a huge year this year.
Yeah, I'm his biggest fan. I love that guy, man. Like, when he come out of college, like, he had the most broken tackles in the tough SEC. Man, all college football, but he played in the tough SEC going up against all those tough, hard-nosed defenses, man. And the reason why he slid was because his 40 time, then he got, like, in trouble. So
he had a bad combine.
Yeah,
4.7 speed, but that gives me the Anquan Bolden speed. Come on.
But you know what?
I think they had the exact same 40 time.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about the combine is, like, Tim Tebow, now that he's done and over with, everyone keeps saying that he changed his throwing motion to help get drafted higher and all this other stuff. But, like, he reverted right back to what he did that everyone thought was, like, a problem child thing. Like, are you really going to, like, crucify someone for having one bad day? Like, yes, it's on, like, a national stage, the combine. But, like, you can't ignore the tape just because someone had a bad combine. Just like you can't buy into a combine by being so great, but their tape is just so awful. Like, you got to have some kind of perspective and some kind of balance there.
Yeah, man, I might need to put this on air with this Chicago fan. I got nothing against this guy, but Butters, now you're starting to become Rudy. You're starting to become Don Burr. Hey, you're becoming our biggest fans now. That's cool, bro. I'm happy for you, man. At least you got another secondary team to root for, man. I'm just messing with you, man. But in all seriously, when you look at the way Juwan Jennings is, like, I hate how some people do the flip-flops. Like, if you didn't believe in Juwan Jennings then, stick with the same energy. I still, to this day, don't believe in Jimmy Ward. So I'm still staking on my account. I'm still staying there. I'm not very impressed with Jimmy Ward. I still think he's probably one of the most overrated safeties, but people give me flack for that. And I'm going to stick with it until he gets that Super Bowl. If he gets that game.
I don't trust Jimmy Ward to stay healthy. Like, that's the thing for me. Like, everyone mentions that he had, like, those 2 interceptions during the Rams game, and then they go back and clap back saying that was, like, the most he had in years and all this other stuff. Like, I understand the arguments for and against Jimmy Ward, but when someone is, like, that inconsistent, that's why I always had an issue when it was Ward and Tart. Like, together they were just so cursed. I didn't trust that both would be available at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, this may sound like shocker to you guys, but I'm still staking on that lane. So I'll give him his props, but I'm not really big on him.
I'm not going to ask you to change your mind. I'm just saying, like, I understand the argument for and against.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, like Jimmy Ward, he, like, all these seasons, he hasn't had any interceptions, but last year all his interceptions came against Matt Stafford, aka Stat Patford, and he got to get some more picks against somebody else, man. Because it seems like, I guess we don't trust guys named Jimmy on the Niners, And Jimmy Ward cost us that Super Bowl. I know everybody says Garoppolo, but it's the other Jimmy too. At 3rd and 15, that Mahomes punt pass, knock it down.
Yeah, but that really pisses me off is, like, everyone, because there's such Jimmy Ward stands, right?
Before they weren't.
They can never call out the bad he does. They only bring up every good thing that he does. And they always take pot shots at other players. So they bring up Mosley. They bring up Kittle. They bring up whoever else to defend these people. Like, you have no right as a fan, I don't care who you are, to say that people have no right to be pissed off at Tart for dropping that interception.
We should be mad, but we should understand it's a game.
You can think, because that's your opinion, that shouldn't have been an issue. Like, you can't roast one guy for one play, but at the end of the day, you have no autonomy over anyone else to tell them how they should think or feel or see things. So those are
Yeah,
the kind of people, and those Jimmy Ward fans kind of like really tick me off, and I just like completely click them out.
yeah, and then they're nothing against those other content creators, but I always see Donald from Real Talk. He's always telling me that you shouldn't be trashing Ward. I'm like, bro, why can't I just stick with the way I do it, bro? I'm not really impressed with him.
Yeah,
And until we win a Super Bowl, then you might see me wear a Jimmy Ward jersey, but I'm never gonna wear a damn Jimmy Ward jersey until this guy becomes Super Bowl MVP. Your boy CG will finally have a crow. He'll eat his words. I'm not a Jimmy Ward fan, and not at the moment. But as soon as he one day becomes the Super Bowl MVP and he becomes the game changer, then my hate and silence will go away. But on the moment, he's still overrated. He's garbage, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to stick with it, and I'm not going to change my tune.
I said this at the beginning of last year. I thought that Trey Lance should have started week 1. I said even if Jimmy won the Super Bowl and he was Super Bowl MVP, I still want him gone. Like, remember when everybody was starting that whole nonsense? Like, if he wins the Super Bowl, are we really going to try to get rid of him? Like, people are allowed to feel the way they feel. And if you have an issue with that, you don't got to tune in. No one's forcing you.
Yeah. So when I do a stream of Jimmy Ward giving up touchdown plays or looking crappy, I'm going to make a stream and talk trash about Jimmy Ward, and they better deal with it.
What were you trying to say, King?
Oh, I was going to say, I seen a stat, like Jimmy Ward versus all these tight ends. Like, no tight ends got over 50 yards against him last year. And he was like, man, like, none of these tight ends can, do like this against me. Like, I guess it was like a ranking of all the top 10 tight ends. And he said, like, none of these guys can do nothing against me. I guess he held them all under 50 yards. So maybe that's true. I mean, like I said, he needs to get more interceptions. Maybe he does guard well one-on-one, but he needs to get more interceptions.
But who were the tight ends that we really took on last year that were that good?
They weren't even top tight ends. Like, maybe like a couple, but
I mean, T.J. Hawkinson was the best of the bunch, wasn't he?
And he had a big game.
Yes.
Like, aside from the Lions, like Zach Ertz. I mean, I guess you could say him maybe for the Cardinals. I don't think he played in the Philly game, did he?
Not that I remember.
I think it was Gooder that played.
Dallas Goedert is, I guess, up there.
No, Ertz was there before he left. Yeah, I think he was getting traded before then, but I don't know now.
I don't really remember any real other tight ends that really gave us issues last year. Like, that's kind of silly.
Yeah, Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy? He got to get some picks. I think, like I said, he's been 8 years and he barely had interceptions. I mean, he only caught it from the interception king Stafford. That's it. And he led the NFL interceptions. So can you count that? Yeah.
I mean, here's where I may come up with different, but everybody's been telling me, when are you going to start being behind Jimmy Ward? And I said, hey man, until we get a Super Bowl out of this guy. I'll tell you what's not going to happen. You ain't going to see me wear a Jimmy Ward jersey. You ain't going to see me give this guy some love. No. Anytime Jimmy Ward plays like trash, I am going to make a stream about him and talk smack. And if they don't like it, then deal with it. I'm not going to change the tune. I'm going to stick with it. I could become his biggest critic, and then he can shut me up. That's part of my job.
You know what? When you're talking about Jimmy Ward, it reminds me of all the times I've gotten into a fight with people over Kyle Juszczyk. Like, I'm never going to ever back down about how I just want 44 gone.
Oh, you don't like Juszczyk?
No.
See, at least I can respect it, but hey, I don't know if Gavin will like it, but hey, I respect it.
Gavin and I have a mutual understanding. He will always push his Captain Juice. I will always love Josh Hockett. I respect how he sees things, and he respects how I see things. We've come to a mutual understanding with the two of each other. It's just like me and Taryn always fight over it too. But
at
the end of the day, like that. Okay, so to understand this a little bit more in context, for me, I hate the Packers. My brother is a diehard cheesehead. He's an obnoxious cheesehead at that. So when Kyle Juszczyk is used in moments like he was in week 3 when Trey Sermon is perfectly healthy You had other options at running back or to be used in as an offensive weapon, and you're using Kyle Juszczyk in back-to-back short yardage, critical need, and he just gets stuffed on the quarterback sneaks. Those kind of moments piss me off, and then everyone keeps telling me and constantly annoying me with we got to use him more. He's an offensive weapon. He's the best fullback in the world, and like they're comparing him to all these guys like All-Star and all these like great fullbacks from like yesteryear, and it really irritates me. Like, we have someone on our team who is a outstanding football and wrestling player who plays fullback full time and can be trained up and be getting these critical downs when Kyle Juszczyk is not being healthy or available or isn't producing, and we just constantly keep hoping that Josh Hockett will keep saying no to all the teams offering him a shot and stay here in the Bay. And it's just like, at some point you have to cut ties. Like, it aggravates me till no end. And now they're trying to push Jason Poe as a fullback. They're trying to like force Ross Dwelley as the sub in fullback, and it's like Ross Dwelley can't block, he can barely catch, and it's just I want that era to end. Like, train up a center, have somebody else call out the protections and changes and stuff, and stop being so reliant on Kyle Juszczyk. Let him go back to the East Coast. Let him go back to where his family is and get something out of him before it's gone and dead, and then we have nobody there waiting in the wings to be trained up and have as a legitimate threat after Juice is finally done and gone.
Well, if you look at it this way, okay, I've asked talking about how you would feel like if it has to be an offer for him to be a starter for him to leave the Niners, and he doesn't have no interest. Like, if he has to go to another team to be on the roster, then be cut, he says, I ain't wasting my time over there. I want to be a starter.
And that's my point. Like, you have Mike McDaniels down in Miami. You have LaFleur. You have both LaFleurs. You have the Steelers who still use a fullback. You have these teams that are using that position now, whether it's full-time or not full-time. Like, the Giants just cut their fullback. Like, there is a need out there, whether you want to admit it or not. Yes, our team is more reliant on the fullback because we won't train up a center, which is the silliest thing in the world, seeing as everyone keeps saying that the most important part of the Shanahan offense is the center because he calls out all the protections and he's the anchor. And yet we've had nothing but a turnstile at that position. So it really pisses me off that the Kyle Juszczyks, the Jimmy Wards are these people who the greater part of the fan base says you can't talk about badly. You can't trade them. You can't even think about trading them. Like, they'd rather send Nick Bosa to the Texans than get rid of these players. Like, the craziness and the stubbornness of it drives me up the wall.
So for Antonio, which one player that you can't stand but you would eventually have to give credit to?
Oh, man. Man, kind of difficult. You know what? Actually, it's not difficult. McGlinchey. Man.
Okay, I like this one. This one's good.
Yeah, man. You over here being a first-round pick, and you keep getting bull rushed. Like, you be getting bull rushed like you're wearing ice skates, man.
Like Kwame Harris.
Yeah. Quame, the lame Harris, that guy.
Yeah, Mr. Closet. I was like Mr. Closet gay, but never told the truth.
A certain podcast recently and call out fans for daring to question his weight and all the other stuff, like him getting owned by defensive backs being planted on his butt all the time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the guy that was closet gay too, and didn't even like put it out there and scared the whole entire teammates. Like, that guy was a joke.
And you were the same player who went into the draft room and 2021 and you pushed for your Notre Dame teammate to come here and for us to get Aaron Banks. Like,
and we're giving him the job.
Creed Humphrey or other guys that were not only ready to start, but are versatile and can play every single position inside because you pushed your weight around to get your boy here. I mean, you weren't even healthy. Like, and you're not even that good at the right tackle.
And and not only is he a not so good football player, he's a bad evaluator. You know, he's a bust, and he's having this draft. Maybe a bust. I'm not calling him a bust yet, but I'll give him another chance. But McGlinchey, stop getting He's getting pancaked on the opposite end because usually it's a D lineman to get pancaked. He's getting
and he
pancaked the
keeps
reverse
comparing
way.
himself to Joe Staley. You're not Joe Staley. You're not Trent Williams. Stop comparing yourselves to guys who proved it.
He's Matt Ryan's cousin and nothing else.
Just because the vegetarian diet works out for them doesn't mean it works out for you. And people have a right to call out your weight when that was the exact reason why you were being bull rushed by defensive backs.
Yeah, eat something, gain weight, get strength. I'm tired of you looking all
Man, you're nothing more than Matt Ryan's cousin. That's all you are.
He looks skinnier than George Kittle out there.
Like, if you're so close to Joe Staley said it himself. He was not comfortable at that weight that he had to play at. But that's what the position required. That's what was required for him to do his job well and to be able to produce year in and year out. So, like, at the end of the day, maybe that's what your weight is. Maybe that's what you feel most comfortable at. Then please stop trying to be an offensive lineman then if that's what you can't handle.
Yeah, Mr. Diet Boy. You know, stop it.
All right, guys, we had a good one. I know it's already past the hour mark. Man, we've been going on, but it's too bad that we don't got Dion and Moses. But hopefully by next week, Moses comes back. I was waiting for this guy to give me some smoke, and then what happened?
Man,
so Nickel's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait for Trey's development. I can't wait for this guy to elevate this offense. I think this is going to be something that, there was a lot of people who couldn't stand Jimmy on the roster also, so I'll give it credit where it's due. Yeah. But let's see. There's other players that we don't want.
Thank God D Ford is gone moment, please.
He was on your shit list.
Thank God he is gone. No more dead weight. That is my one big wish this year. No more holding up to guys who we're just gonna sit on the injury bench and we're gonna get stuck with for multiple years paying them and maybe having 6 games at best with maybe 5 snaps in each game.
Yeah, I got beef with McGlinchey, man.
And I really hate those fans because those fans are the ones that protect D Ford and said that you should keep him just because we're still paying him, but are the same fans that say get rid of George Kittle because he misses a few games here and there. Can we just say 13 games is what he missed most of the last couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2 of them were in 2019. It was the Cardinals game and the Seahawks game, and then he rushed back, right? Last year, I think it was 3 games. So the majority of that time that he missed was 2020. Can we stop acting like he misses 8 or more games every year? It's ridiculous at this point that you want to hate on him because he gets nicked up and he misses a few games. And the majority of the reason why he missed those games are because of hospital bills from Jimmy friggin' Garoppolo.
Yeah. So, okay, well, it says CG, what do you think we get some rings at? I think we have a chance, but we just got to wait and see. We'll see how it goes with Trey. I'm pretty sure with Trey, we're going to do a lot better. Yeah, I like Leonard Nate, but come on, McGlinchey, you need to step up. And to be honest with you, there is one player that's still on the roster and still comes into the roster even when he's cut, and it's Dante Johnson, I got to say.
Jordan Matthews.
But who's the biggest Dante Johnson fan of them all on our community? Oh, Niner Mike from Nothing But Niners. That's his guy. So you got to watch out. No direct shot. I'm just cool with him. I'm cool with him.
Mike just loves guys from New Jersey.
That's what he told me, but he's a good dude.
But here's the thing, though. Mike, and I love him to death. He's from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. He's part of the reason why I even stuck my neck out in the community and spoke up and everything. My biggest wish is for Niner Mike to own it this year that Ahkello Witherspoon is not better than Emmanuel Moseley. Because I am so sick of that argument. And Emmanuel Moseley has been nothing but an outstanding undrafted free agent who's stepped up in critical moments and keeps getting better year in and year out. And there's a reason why Spoon's not here anymore. So he could do whatever for the Steelers, but Emmanuel Moseley, please shut up my brother from New Jersey because I am done with him taking shots at you.
Okay, let's do a final intro. You guys can say what you guys want to say. We're gonna let Antonio say what he got to say.
Yeah, man. Season underway. We gotta protect Trey. Trent Williams. He gonna be up to par. He gonna be blocking all these pass rushers. But McGlinchey, man, you got to do your job. You got like it's a trip because we got such a great left tackle. We have such a horrible right tackle. It's like, come on, man, Mr. Diet Boy, eat some chicken, eat some steak, just stuff your face, man. All off season, man. We need you beefed up, And everybody like and subscribe to my channel right there. I enjoyed the show today. It was great, and salute, go Niners, and season is almost here.
Yes, sir. We'll go for her next. There you go.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Things are only going to get more fun now. You're going to see these guys step up. And please take the good and the bad that's being reported and hold it with a grain of salt, because it's only going to get more real when the Packers game and all these preseason games roll around. And I cannot wait to see who makes the roster and who we hope to stash on the practice squad.
For sure. So as always, CG Ruthless Sports and Melissa and Fortnite King is out, and see you guys next week.
Peace.
For the round check. Let's go.
Yep.